Now, ladies and gentlemen, the best current items inside of Counter-Strike Global Offensive for investments are actually very relatively available to the community right now for very cheap prices. There are things in Operation Riptide that I will be discussing today in today's video that you can get with your Operation Stars or pick up in the Steam market that are not 6 years old and not 10 years overpriced. And what I mean by that is, well, most recently in Counter-Strike, I'd say the past 2 or 3 years, if you're investing in CSGO skins, mainly the past 2 since this pandemic really started and prices for skins and items started to really take off. Look at the Titan Holo, look at the Dignitas Holo from even 2014 from Cologne. This thing went from being like an $80 sticker to recently almost $600, which is just absolutely crazy. And right now, if you want to make a lot of money on CSGO investing, you really have to buy older items that are very expensive. But as of recently, I've been doing a lot more research for myself for investments that I will be investing in because they're really cheap as of right now, that I think could go up in price a significant amount in the next few years, especially after Operation Riptide concludes. It's going to be the same situation for some of these items like the Battlescarred Holo from Broken Fang. You know, there was an opportunity to buy those. You could have made a lot of money, and I think there's going to be a lot of money with Riptide, but only with some specific items. And there's going to be some other items outside of Riptide as well. If you want to find those specifically, that leads us in today's sponsor, Skinport. Now, Skinport, if you guys don't know already, is my main sponsor on the YouTube gaming channel. It's a buying selling marketplace for CSGO skins. You can sell your skins for cash, or better yet, you want to pick up some items like any of these specifically, you can find them up to 50% off Steam market prices. Now, they are the biggest North American and European website for CSGO skins. If you decide to sell anything, essentially goes straight to your bank via bank transfer, which is always very nice, not dealing with crypto and bank fees, because those can take up a big portion of your budget, especially if you live in a place like Canada. You know, those bank fees can be very high. So if you guys are interested in checking out Skinport specifically to buy or sell skins like these in this video, link down in the description below. Now, the very first thing I want to bring up is actually not from Operation Riptide, but yet better yet was from Operation Broken Fang. And there's going to be some items I talk about from Riptide where I suggest buying them because they're probably going to go up in price with the FOMO effect after Operation Riptide ends, but probably will dip after. And this is something that actually happened with Operation Broken Fang, and that is the Op Fade. This thing at the very beginning was very expensive, and then automatically and all of a sudden, people were unboxing the Op Fade like absolutely crazy. I mean, these things were being unboxed up the arse. And with that, obviously, the demand fell a lot because they were relatively pretty cheap, and we've seen them under $1,000 at this point, which is just absolutely crazy. And as of right now, people are buying them for, you know, a very cheap price of like $600 to $800 right now. And people think they can quadruple the price in the next few years because it's one of those skins where people didn't want it at the time because there was too many of them on the market, but with the growing player base in CS, obviously, and with an op like the Op Fade, especially with a very good float and a very good fade, people are going to want to buy that in the next few years. Look at the gun gear, the Prince, even looking to, you know, the Desert Hydra from Operation Riptide. People are going to want these things in the next few years. Even though I think the Riptide stuff has been unboxed a lot, there are some things I think that are very valuable there. But the Op Fade is very impressive, I think, of a skin, and I think in the next few years people are going to regret that they didn't pick it up during Operation Riptide and Broken Fang, where it was pretty relatively available for a very cheap price. Another thing to note from Operation Broken Fang that I think is also pretty good is the Battle Scarred stickers. Now, these things as of right now are pretty pricey, and in my opinion, if you're gonna go ahead and pick them up, I would just go ahead and pick them up, and I would not think twice. As of right now, they're at $4 on the market. That's on Steam market, so on third-party websites like Skinport, Buff, and whatever. You can find them for sometimes under $3, which is pretty rare, but you can find them for that price. And this is the Battlescarred Holos with a regular Battlescarred paper sticker, and those I would suggest trying to pick those up underneath 40 cents to make a really good profit, because the all-time high recently for that sticker has happened at $1, and the Battlescarred Holo has seen an all-time high of about $7.50. But I think an all-time high the Battlescarred Holo probably will reach probably $20 in the next few years, which would be very exciting. But that, once again, that's the next few years, but I do see that being relatively very possible because it's also very beloved, yet it's a very simple sticker that looks very good on some crafts like the Desert Eagle French Stream, for an example. And these things, I think, because if you're going to buy them in bulk, which you most likely will, if you're going to buy them at $4 and they drop to $2.50, $2.80 like we do when we see that when the market crashes quite a bit, I would just stick with them, hold them until they get to the price you want, and then if you decide when they get to, you know, past over what you paid for them as of right now, you go ahead and sell and possibly not go back into sticker investing or CS investing. And speaking of stickers, we're now going into the Riptide stuff, and that's specifically these stickers. And in stickers, we're going to be talking about the tier 6 stickers, because I think these have a very big potential, in my personal opinion, for sticker investors and investments in the next couple years, where I think all of them look very good in the Riptide Surf Shop collection. Honestly, I think the flow stickers look alright, and I actually think the Doppler Poison Frog looks very, very good. The foil anyway. And possibly like the surf miniature people, like for example, the Akihabara Accept surf sticker. Like some of the strafe stickers could last as well, but I think the most popular ones, quite honestly, are the tier 6 stickers. I don't feel like I've seen enough people use these in game, and I could probably count on both my hands how many times I've seen Riptide stickers used on someone's gun in a Counter-Strike Global Offensive matchmaking game. And that says a lot because matchmakers usually buy stuff that is on the CSGO shop and don't spend a lot on skins. We'll buy stickers like this, for example. And once I think these are gone, we're really going to see, I think, probably some sort of FOMO effect, which happens every single year, but at probably a bigger rate with these stickers because they actually look pretty good. And this happens every single year with Counter-Strike Global Offensive or even a game like Call of Duty. People always talk about Call of Duty, for example. When it leaves every single year, people always miss the game before. Even, it doesn't matter how bad it is, the new one game, this happens with CSGO skins, right? We get an operation, people don't like the skins at the current point in time, like Operation Broken Fang, and then it just ends. People wish they bought things like the Glock Franklin when it was very, very cheap, the Blue Phosphor when it was very, very cheap, and even things like the Op Fade when it was relatively pretty cheap near the end. I think the same thing's going to happen going into stickers as well as, regular guns. And some of the other stickers to look at, Miami tier 6, the Flame tier 6 sticker, and the Watermelon tier 6. I think these are going to be very, very good and popular for sticker crafts in the next few years. And I'm personally picking up about 10 of these each, which is pretty cool. And once again, I just haven't seen enough people use these, so I'm not going all out with these stickers specifically. I would much rather go into the Battlescarred Hollow, but I think these, for a cheap investment and to pull your stars and spend them on something, I'd possibly go for some of these. Now, into a skin from Operation Riptide that I think is relatively pretty rare. Not a lot of people have unboxed it. There's not a whole lot listed on third-party websites or the Steam market. That is the USP-S whiteout factory new. These things are very expensive, almost a little over $100 at this given point in time. They're not as expensive as the first little bit of the operation, but these are going to look very, very good for certain stickers in my personal opinion, and they already do. I had an Optic Gaming Craft from Atlanta 2017, which that's another sticker I suggest investing in, like just from that year specifically, Atlanta 2017, and the E-League stuff looks very, very good. But this gun in particular, it's just such a clean craft for a lot of people. Obviously the best one in the game, it still looks like crap, but you can find them where the top is still a little scratched, but most of the gun is white, which looks very, very good. In my personal opinion, it's probably not worth investing in a very low float minimal wear. I've done that before with other guns in the game before, and it doesn't always work very well. In this case, I don't think it's going to very much at all. But this one specifically, I do see a potential with it, and I'll see it could be used for trade-ups as well, which is very good. So it's kind of got two things right there for it: a very good sticker craft gun and that specifically. And I think once this is over and once people have stopped getting these skins for free pretty much from the operation, like just all the time because it's always available to people, I think people are going to wish they invested into this as well, because I think we're going to see some sort of FOMO with the factory new whiteout and just whiteouts in general because they are a pretty good looking skin. But the non-factory new ones, again, there's too many of them and they don't look all that great compared to the factory new one. I think it's a pretty good step up for minimal wear. Now the last gun skin I want to talk about, and just skins in general for a certain weapon, is the M4A4. I cannot stress this enough where I think the M4A4 is probably the best investment on this list, because it's pretty much not set in stone, but it's pretty much guaranteed. They're either going to buff the M4A4 eventually. It always goes back and forth between the A1S and the M4A4. It could be a couple years from now, could be 6 years from now. It took us about, I would say, 5.5 years since like 2015 when the A1S got buffed, or got nerfed from then, because the fire rate was absolutely very big and had about 30, I think it was 30 rounds in the mag. Then they nerfed it to 20, then they put 25, and here we are currently at 25, I believe. And then when that got buffed, the A1S from being, just a regular, I don't know, probably lower tier skin in the game, because no one really used it over the A4 because everyone using the Howl as well. And if you had a Hot Rod, a Blue Phosphor, or a Knight, for an example, these things went for absurd prices. And I think the same thing is going to happen to the A4 when this thing gets buffed, or at least gets somewhat on par with the A1S. Now, could take a very long time to make your money back on the A4, because we don't know when this is ever going to happen, or even if it's going to happen. It's obviously not set in stone, but if we know CS, we know CS updates. It's eventually going to happen, and I think things like the Asimov are just a very good investment, like the Emperor, the Desolate Space, the Hellfire from Operation, and the case, the Hydra case specifically. I just think they're very, very good. Even things like the Howl and Poseidon, if you can afford those will obviously go up the most because they're the most valuable and high tier. Now, the last things I want to talk about and look at are first older stickers from older years, like 2014, 2015, and specifically Cologne 2014, the Dignitas sticker. This thing has been going for absurd prices in the market. It looks very, very good because the Dignitas logo is pretty circular, it actually fits very, very well in a circular background, which is very cool. And this is probably the reason why it went up so much as of recently in these capsules. Now, I have made videos about the best things to invest in for 2022 and 2023 and the years forward for kind of secret hidden investments. And I've talked about how Krakow 2017 capsules and stickers are very good as well. Atlanta 2017, Boston 2018, even go as far as DreamHack 2014. I do think those stickers will be somewhat valuable in the future. I don't think as valuable as probably Kato 15 for an example, because those are kind of going a little crazy. And the reason I suggest older stickers like this that are not Katowice 2014 is one, Katowice 2014 is pretty much impossible for everyone to invest in. It's very, very expensive, and these stickers are a lot cheaper, like 99% cheaper than those specifically. And I think in the next 2 to 3, possibly 5 years, obviously Kato 14 stickers are going to be completely gone. The capsules are going to be gone as well. We're almost on the brink of extinction for these stickers and the capsules. And once that happens, obviously people are going to turn to other stickers specifically, like 2014, the Dignitas stickers, like Kato 15s, those Titan Hollows, and so what and so forward. So I'm picking up, when I can, like Kato 15s, DreamHack 2014s, some here and there, Cologne 2014 Dignitas stickers, as well as another thing I'm actually looking into for an investment is the butterfly knife. I mean, this thing has been going up in price forever. I mean, I remember when the butterfly knife vanilla was like only like $200 or $300, even $100 on third-party websites back in like 2016. Now here we are, we're seeing the butterfly knife vanilla sell for over $1,600 on the market. This is something I wanted to talk about for a very long time, and I've kind of halted on knife investments because they're not always the best investment. I relate to knife investments to a stat track, minimal wear or a really good float skin. Not all the time is someone going to pay that much and overpay for that specific item, as well as it's very hard to sell if you're a daily trader that wants to just get rid of it and hopes to get a lot of money out of that specific item. But these things, as of right now, they're actually relatively pretty cheap, and they've been holding a price, not really low, but a median price of like $1,000. And I think these things could go way over as what they are right now, especially on something like the Steam market, which is just very interesting to think about. And even the other tier skins, like the Butterfly Knife Doppler, the Fades, like the Slaughters, those have been going up a lot too as of recently, a lot more, I would say, than some of these other tier skins because they've already hit all-time highs. And they're also being unboxed a lot more. But the older skins, like the Slaughters, that used to be more affordable anyway, are becoming not as affordable as they used to be, and even the lower tier butterflies as well. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. In the last part of the video, I want to talk about cases. And now I think some of these in particular are very, very good, like the glove case, the clutch case, and most recently the Chroma 3 and the revolver case. These are the two biggest additions to my collection. I would put the clutch case probably on the lower part of this list. If you have some extra spare cash, you want to diverse your income, especially for investments, you can definitely invest in the clutch case. And where I think the clutch case is going to shine, essentially when the clutch case gets removed from the primary drop pool, I think we're going to pull a CS20 situation, right? Where the CS20, for example, gets removed. And people made a lot of money with this as well, because the CS20 case was 3 and 4 cents, kind of similar to the Danger Zone, but it went up like 3 times as more. You bought it at 3 and 4 cents, right? It went up to 16 to 20 to 25 cents. And I think the same thing's going to happen with the clutch case. But the good thing is about the clutch case is it starts at 16 cents. So it could be, 15, 20 cents profit when the thing gets removed from the main drop pool for FOMO. And I think going forward, just because it has really good skins too, I think it will be very, very valuable in the future. Now the revolver and the Chroma 3 case, the Chroma 3 is the last good case, in my opinion, to unbox the Chroma knives from. It's the cheapest in the game right now, the cheapest way to do so. And with that, Chroma knives are pretty valuable. You can, pull, sapphires, rubies, black pearls for the Karambit, bayonet, M9 bayonet. I think that's going to be very valuable in the future for a lot of people. The skins kind of suck. And that's kind of like all these cases specifically, I would say, besides like the clutch. And it just really depends. It's situational. But the revolver as well, it has very good weapon skins, not the greatest, but the R8 Fade, for example, if that gun ever gets buffed, it'll be very valuable. But the thing that's holding it together, I think right now that's making it go up in price is the knives inside of it. It's a very cheap case to get older knives from, like the Karambit, the M9, the bayonet, the gut knife, the flip knife, but it just doesn't have chroma finishes, which is very good. And the glove case is a very short-term and long-term investment, depending how you look at it and depending how you use your money for that specifically. Glove case, if you buy it underneath the $1.50, it's actually very, very good because that's a pretty good long-term investment, as well as you can also use that to try and flip it when it goes to $2.50 or $2.20, 30 cents in the market daily pretty much. So you could pretty much snipe these, buy and sell them all day if you really wanted to. And clutch, chroma, and of course the revolver case are very good for long term. Let me know what you guys think of these investments going forward into the future for 2022. Are you guys picking up any of these specifically off of your list? Love to hear, because I'm pretty excited for this year for investing in CS. Obviously it's still around, still available. You can make money in CS, and we'll see how these stickers do in the next couple years, especially the Battle Scarred Hollows. I'm very excited. And once again, the Riptide stickers, I do think they're you know, they have a very good future, they have the potential, but I would much rather invest in something older like the Battlescarred Holo, where it's a much more reliable and you're playing much more of a gamble with these stickers specifically, because we haven't really seen them too much in game, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Hopefully you have a great day. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.